Hi, everyone. This is Cindy, Jennifer, and Edmund from Amity Law Group, and we want to bring to you some additional information during this time to help businesses that are currently still operating. They're considered the essential businesses that still have to have employees come in and support basically our community. So this is for restaurants, banks, grocery stores, body shops, auto repair shops, and the like. So the first really important thing to do during this time is make sure that your business has identified a workplace coordinator who will be responsible for COVID-19 issues and their impact at your business. It's really important that this person understands the law and is keeping up with everything that's coming out, which is a lot of work right now because a lot of things are coming out and things are changing every day. So you really need to identify somebody who can stay on top of it. And it can't be the business owner. You've got a lot of things going on already. So try and identify someone who can take this up. And some things you do want to consider during this time also to help support the employees that are still working is to implement flexible sick leave and supportive policies and practices. So this includes making sure that your sick leave policies are flexible and consistent with public health guidance. So this means that if someone who feels sick or is experiencing COVID-like symptoms, make sure that you have them take the necessary precautions, stay at home, quarantine the necessary time in order for them to feel better and is symptom-free. Another thing you want to do is to make sure that you permit employees who are currently experiencing the lack of childcare due to school closures. So it's really hard right now, especially for families with children, trying to find people who can take care of their children is virtually impossible during this time. So it's really important to have a flexible policy to allow those employees with young children to stay at home with their children or to have some kind of schedule where they are at home some part of the day for their children. Another thing you want to do is review your human resource policies to make sure that the policies and practices are consistent with public health recommendations. So we know that the essential workers right now that are still out there are under a lot of pressure. They're under a lot of stress, stress of trying to stay healthy, trying to not come down with COVID-19, and also trying to complete their task, trying to do their job. So it's really important that you support them with all the necessary masks and coverings or whatnot, whatever it is that works for your business. And lastly, is to make sure that your employees have the resources for employee assistance program resources, such as, if they need someone to talk to, if you've got a human resource person that is available to help them cope with a death in the family, or if someone is gravely ill because of this COVID-19, that you have the resources to support them.
Yeah, and those are all really important to keep in mind. And I know all of us have heard by now social distancing. That's what we're starting to learn and kind of get used to. And this also applies to essential businesses who are still operating. So if by any means you're able to maintain social distancing within your business, please do so. And that could mean maybe staggering your employees' work schedules, have different shifts. If they can physically be, in different rooms or different departments. I know just in going to some of these essential businesses like a restaurant, when you order food now, a lot of the times they will just have like a table that blocks the entrance. So it also protects their employees that are in inside the restaurant. So you place your orders outside. The customers don't necessarily enter the restaurant. So those are kind of little things that you can do to maintain the social distancing, to help continue your workplace to at least, continue to operate and not have a potential spike of employees who might fall ill. And then if you can, possibly have employees work remotely. So you might, still continue to operate, but at least have them spaced out differently or work remotely. And then also implement some flexible meeting or traveling requirements. I know a lot of things like with traveling have been canceled. And so if you can postpone them, make them into a Zoom meeting where they can at least continue to operate, but not necessarily have to be in close kind of environment. You maintain the social distancing requirements within the business. That'll also help with the longevity of the business's operation.
Yes, and speaking of social, if you have vendors and you have other business partners that you work with, make sure that you share your best practices with them, especially for businesses that you have very close contact with. So for example, if you're a restaurant, make sure that the suppliers of your ingredients also practice social distancing in their retail area and their business, and make sure that you share yours with them, so then all of you can be protected, because this virus can be very, very contagious, even not just person to person, but on the surface level. So when you're exchanging products, make sure that you clean those products before you use it inside your store or in your restaurant. And another thing to keep in mind is talk with the companies that you partner with, and make sure that they have practices to help their employees stay out of their business if they do become sick. So you don't want to be working with vendors who have people that do show symptoms of the coronavirus working in their workplace, because that can mean infection in your workplace as well. If that's the case, if you feel like you can't trust one of your vendors, then it might be a time to consider an alternative vendor, different supply chains for your business, to make sure that you're protecting yourself as well as your customers. And last but not least, make sure that there might be a chance that you need to potentially shut down operations or suspend operations, and maybe part of it for health reasons. And keep in mind that you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the entire community, the entire country. And so this is a time for us to be really responsible and make sure that we are protecting lives, because people are dying. Yesterday, in a span of 24 hours, there were over 800 deaths in New York City, and that was only in hospitals. And there's always a lot of people that are dying in their homes, and so more people are dying than what the numbers show, because those people are not accounted for yet because they didn't die in hospital. So this type of outbreak is very serious, and I hope that you are keeping it serious as well with your workforce. But those are some of the guidelines that we would love to share with our community, especially with essential businesses like yours that are providing very valuable services during this time. So we thank you for that. Anything else, Jennifer, Cindy?
No,
I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right, that's it for this video. We'll continue to keep you updated with new laws and new things that we're seeing in our community. So check back on our Facebook page, and we'll see you in the next video.